No, allora no, io no. Lo stai bene? Stai più bene? Con la prossima sai che ti vedo? No, a marzo. Ti metto una live nella montagna di là, sicuro. Vamos a cambiar de filtro. Bien, entonces, bien.
It's just about time to take winter training up a notch for both Sturm Graz and FC Lugano. The two teams will be taking to the pitch at Campo La Quinta in Marbella, Spain for the first fully fledged training fixture of the new year. They'll be out onto the turf in just a couple of minutes' time. It's Austria's league leaders against the team top of the Super League over in Switzerland. The training camps have been underway now for a few days already. And it's time for the first real test of 2025 for Jürgen Säumel and SKSturm as the Schwarz-Weiß take on the Bianconeri. FC Lugano, today's opponents, led by Mattia Crocitotti. The team flying high at the top of a very, very tight Super League table. Much tighter than it is even in Austria. We're delighted to have you with us on SKSturm.TV for the coverage of this matchup today. Get settled in wherever it is that you're watching from, and hopefully both Sturm and Lugano can put on a good show for us in Marbella as the two sides gear up for the bigger challenges which are awaiting once League, Cup and European football will restart later on this month. It's an all-action beginning to 2025, especially for SKSturm, with two big Champions League tests yet to come, and that is why it's so important to hit the ground running in winter training. Everybody's had a few days off. Everyone's had a bit of time to gain some energy, recuperate a little bit over Christmas and the New Year. Sturm got going again with training on the 3rd of January at the Messendorf Training Centre. A couple of days later, it was over to Marbella, and here we are now for this test match at La Quinta against FC Lugano. A couple of big names rested for Sturm today. That's no surprise, really. In winter friendlies, it's all about Jürgen Säumel testing out a few things, checking the fitness of a few players, just making sure that these are games which benefit the players rather than acting to the detriment of the squad on the whole. Worst case scenario would be to pick up injuries or exacerbate any little knocks that anybody has got, and that's why a few of the Sturm players will be maybe visible on the sidelines, warming up and training without actually coming on. We're expecting a lot of changes as well to the lineup between the first half and the second half. The lineup for the first half for SKSturm should be Daniel Kudiakov starting in goal. A back four of Lavallée, Geierhofer, Aiwu and Malic. Hielender and Chukwuani in the defensive midfield roles. Yalkuye, Gilgic and Zvonarek further forward, with Jatta leading the line up top for the first half at least. And it is just about time to get underway, as you can hear the music beginning to play at La Quinta in Marbella. So the wait is just about over. Here come the two teams out onto the pitch. Pennant in the hand of team captain Stefan Hielender. Sturm in their white colours today. Lugano in the changed kits in pale blue. Goalkeeper Sebastian Ozigwe standing out in his bright pink Lugano goalkeeping shirt. It's the tall figure of Daniel Kudiakov in yellow for Sturm. Kjell Scherpen rested for today's fixture against Lugano. Respect shown between the two teams and the officials as well, and the captains getting involved too with the pennants. Before kick-off here, it is just about time to go. Usman Doumbia with the number 20 jersey and the captain's armband for Lugano today. The Ivorian 32-year-old shares an embrace with Stefan Hielender, club legend at SKSturm, and the two teams, as instructed by the referee, will just switch ends before we finally get underway here in Marbella. Pitch looks to be in good condition. Sturm over to enjoy a bit of winter sun and to train in hopefully perfect conditions before they're called upon to play League, Champions League and Cup football again very, very soon. It will be Sturm to get things underway in just a moment's time. They're just waiting for the referee's whistle. And there is the first action of the first friendly match of 2025 for SKSturm and Lugano. Sturm in white, Lugano in light blue. And the two teams are underway. The ball goes back into the defence and Geierhofer can start to move it forward for SKSturm. Lavallee waiting on the halfway line. Sturm looking to hold possession and pick up a bit of rhythm in the very, very early stages of the matchup here. Geierhofer called upon again to bring the ball forward. And once again he finds Lavallee. It's a good ball inside. Zvonarek leads it out to the left-hand side. Chance for a cross early on. The ball whips across the area from the left-hand side. And away it goes. Took a touch on its way through. Back it goes for Hierländer. Sturm forced out to the right-hand side, but they've had all the possession in the first minute of the game at least. Geierhofer picks it up again. Geierhofer, somebody who I think has earned quite a few extra fans this season for his efforts in the Graz defence. Sturm had to call upon the 24-year-old centre-back Geierhofer 5 times in the UEFA Champions League so far. That one's played back to the keeper in a bit of a panic. Right onto the goal line it goes. Would have been a cheap Sturm Graz corner, but Lugano get away with it. Now, for the first time in the game, the Swiss team can try and move the ball forward themselves. Plenty of noise from the bench as Doumbia, the captain, leads it on across to the left-hand side for Lugano. Now look down that left flank, the ball's knocked back. Physical battle won by Ayan Malic. Kudyakov, another of the Sturm players who probably got more minutes than he might have been expecting in the UEFA Champions League at the beginning of this season. Scherpen, who's recovering from a small knee operation. He's back up and ready to go, but rested today as the cross is tipped away from the area. Busy start for Azigwe in the Lugano goal. A couple of crosses for him to deal with already inside 3 minutes here. Back it goes again to Kudyakov, a 20-year-old Russian, an under-21 international. What a memorable Champions League debut it was for Kudyakov a few weeks ago. His first clean sheet in the competition. Sturm's first win in the competition. They got their first Champions League points on the board against Girona, with Kudyakov in goal, holding firm, the former Lok Moscow man. Leon Girgic forces that one back towards the Lugano keeper again. Nice to see Girgic getting a run out today. It's just the kind of game that you'd expect Girgic to feature in. Girgic only 18 years of age, but definitely watch out for the number 38 today for Sturm. Intended mainly this season at just 18 years of age as a fixture in the second team of Sturm and in the UEFA Youth League team as well, but he's really shone at those levels And now the first chance for Lugano to get into the penalty area and maybe a chance to get a shot in at goal. It was well blocked. It might stay in play as well. Lugano carving out a good chance down the right-hand side. Sturm's defence holding up against the first test from the Swiss table-toppers. Neat back heel gives Lugano a little bit of space to play with as they move it forward into midfield. So one important defensive test passed by SKSturm Graz inside the first 5 minutes here, but it's still Lugano 0, Sturm Graz 0 from La Quinta in Marbella. If you're just joining us, a couple of crosses sent in from the left-hand side, both tipped away by the defenders and the goalkeeper. Sturm yet to register a shot on target. Lugano had a chance to get one in there. But the cut back across the area was cut out by the Sturm defence at the last moment. Perhaps a more selfish player could have gone directly for goal for Lugano, but they opted not to. So I mentioned before kickoff that some of the big names at Sturm would be rested for today's match. They are here in Marbella, they are training along with the team. Some individual warm-ups as well, as the offside flag gets the Sturm defence out of trouble. Iwu would have got back anyway, and Iwu can get play restarted. This time Iwu looks back towards Kudiakov. He's one of the players who does start, given the situation of those who are rested by Jürgen Säumel today. Kerpen is one of them. The others, Alexander Borkovic, the centre-back who's been recovering from an ACL injury, and now here comes Sturm down the right-hand side. The pass is a little bit overhit for Malek Yalkuye. Yalkuye can pick it up nonetheless and get it back into a position maybe for a cross to come in. Sensible play from Sturm, just holding onto possession there instead of whipping something into the area with nobody forward. They've allowed a few more white shirts to get up there. Hierländer knocks it back via Yalkuye. Now Sturm forced all the way back to the goalkeeper, but as I was saying, Borkovic, the centre-back, rested as he makes his long-awaited recovery, missing for virtually all of 2024. Borkovic, one of several costly defensive injuries for Sturm, but the depth of the squads that really shone through for Sturm, and that is why, despite all those defensive injuries, Sturm still able to perform really well at Champions League level and top the Austrian Bundesliga table. The other players rested today include William Böving. He's training on the sidelines as well, as is Mika Biereth. The Canadian defender Zachary Broguiat gets things restarted for Lugano. Sturm doing well to win the ball back. But now, that was a tough challenge again to hold on to it. Sturm coming out on top of the 50-50 duels at the moment. Over the halfway line they go. Surely the shirt was tugged back there. It was Tochi Chukwuani who was breaking away. He was just held back, and the referee thought so too. Stefan Hierländer wants the ball on the actual spot of the foul, and Sturm can go down the middle. Zonarek battling for it against two Lugano players, but the man on loan from FC Bayern couldn't hold on to the ball that time. It's the first time Lugano have come out cleanly in a tackle for a little while. Lugano send the ball bouncing out to the left flank, and they'll get it down the channel as well. Maybe a chance to get something into the area. There is. The ball's just dinked over the top of the challenge, but it was a harmless one for the Sturm defence, and Lovro Zvonovec can get it started again. Zvonovec, who's played 378 minutes for Sturm this season. He's not been a regular feature, but he has come on 11 times in the Bundesliga. He scored and got 1 assist to his name as well. He's only 19, the Croatian. Called upon as well 4 times in the UEFA Champions League. Sturm having to use all of the depth of their squad in the Champions League phase. Free kick this time goes the way of FC Lugano. Down towards the touchline. Lugano going down to the byline on the left, but the ball's blasted away out over the touchline eventually, and for a Lugano throw-in. It's Martin Marquez, the young left-back, who got that thrown in for Lugano. And just over 10 minutes played here, still a game awaiting its first goal in Marbella. Both teams trying their best to get forward. Both teams testing the defence at times, but no big moments for either goalkeeper yet. Sebastian Ozigues had to tip one cross away. Daniel Kudyakov has been busier with his feet, but now a chance for the goalkeeper to get warmed up properly. The snapshot on target. Kudyakov down to it quickly to deal with it. That's the first big chance of the match going the way of Lugano. Kudyakov reacting really quickly to parry the shots. Zvonovec there, unable to come out with the ball. Doumbia moved it across from right to left for Lugano. Their situation in Switzerland right now is really interesting. They're top of the table. They've won 9, drawn 4 and lost 5. Their goal difference is only +6. Scored 30, conceded 24, so they're not exactly dominant up front as Tachi Chukwani just recovers from a little knock that he took. Maybe a flailing arm to the face. He looks okay to continue. Lugano top of the table. They've made a steady rise in recent seasons. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and now currently top of the Swiss Super League. It would be quite some story if they could hold on to that position until the end of the year. But here comes Sturm, maybe a chance to shoot from distance. It was Lovro Zvonovec who had a go. Dragged the shot with his left foot. The young Croat, who has hit the target once in the Bundesliga this season, didn't really look likely to hit the back of the net from that position. The top 6 in Switzerland's Super League competition, separated by just 4 points. It really is one of Europe's tightest leagues at the moment. Even if you go down into the bottom half of the table, there are teams in there in Switzerland who will still have realistic title ambitions. A couple of wins could change everything around. Lugano's league form going into the winter break was a little bit patchy after a great start to the season. It was loss, win, loss, win, loss. They dropped plenty of points, including a really crucial defeat as they send that one in towards the back post. Aiwu was able to deal with it. The ball was floated a bit too long. Striker's down in the middle. Back to his feet and okay to continue. Shkelkin Vladi, you can see there on your screen for Lugano, the number 9, and Renato Stefan, we got a quick look at him too with the number 11 jersey, really one of the key players in Lugano's rise to the top of the table. Stefan, the experienced Swiss international, 7 goals and 3 assists in his 14 games this season. Renato Stefan putting in an excellent campaign, twice a Super League winner in his former stations at Basel, played for young boys as well, before going to the German Bundesliga with Wolfsburg. As I was saying, Lugano, a great team to test themselves for Sturm today. Lugano, though, suffered a crushing 4-1 defeat against Lausanne late on before the winter break. They conceded 3 penalties in that game. And with a big match against another of the fellow title challengers in Basel, Lugano will be absolutely desperate to be right back at full speed when they come back to Swiss Super League action. They've actually won their last 4 meetings with Basel, but what they would give to win this next meeting as well. Long ball played over to the right-hand side again. Brought down, whipped in towards the middle, but blocked quickly. Zachary Brogia picks up the ball that was blocked. Lucas May can move it across the defence. Quarter of an hour gone. Lugano with the best shot on target. Well saved by Daniil Kudiakov, a 20-year-old Sturm goalkeeper. That is a heavy challenge in a friendly fixture. No problems for Dimitri Lavallée. The Belgian straight back to his feet and ready to take the throw in, but Lugano going in hard. It's a fine line in a friendly, isn't it, really? You want to battle for the ball. You don't really learn much as a team if you're not playing at pretty much full intensity. Now another chance to take aim at the target, but the shot dragged wide. Similar to the effort from Lovro Zvonarek, that time Hisham Mahu. Mahu unable to test Kudiakov again. A little bit of a heavy touch from Geierhofer, but he's able to spin around and work his way out of trouble. Sturm still pegged back into the corner. They do win the throw-in though with Lavallée once more. There's very much a Swiss flavour to the winter break here for SKSturm. Lugano today. Next up, Grasshopper Club of Zurich. Sturm testing themselves against Swiss opponents twice during their winter training camp in Marbella. And of course the action will come back around thick and fast for SKSturm. Champions League games coming up really soon. Atalanta away in the UEFA Champions League on the 21st of January, and then RB Leipzig at home, so to speak, on the 29th of January, and there are tickets still available for that. More than 25,500 tickets already sold for the game between Sturm and RB Leipzig. That's played again at the Wörthersee Stadion in Klagenfurt, and if you want to get your hands on tickets for that home game of Sturm in the Champions League, you can go to SKSturm.at, shop.SKSturm.at. There are still some tickets available. Really good figures already to be over 25,500. The atmosphere at the Wörthersee Stadion for that game in late January. That will be quite some spectacle. And there's a chance as well as Kudiakov can gather that header comfortably. Sturm's victory against Girona in the winter before the break, that has left them in with a shout just about of reaching the playoff round of the Champions League. Maybe a result against RB Leipzig, who have struggled themselves in the Champions League. Maybe a full house at the Wörthersee Stadion can roar SKSturm to success in the Champions League, and perhaps even a place in the playoff round, which seemed scarcely believable at some points. But Sturm now with a win under their belts, some really good performances as well. Unlucky not to come away with anything from the game against Lille. And Lille, who might not sound like the most glamorous of Champions League opponents either, they're a really good team in France at the moment on a great unbeaten run. And Sturm pushed them all the way in a 3-2 defeat. And if you are heading to shop.SKSturm.TV, it's not just Champions League tickets that are available. Now maybe another shooting chance, this time Vonarek can test the goalkeeper. Sebastian Ozigwe had to get down and gather that close to the post. It might have slipped inside the far post. And as I was just saying, not just the Champions League tickets available. Going back to the Sturm shop, there are tickets as well available for the match on the 1st of February at the Merkur Arena in Graz. Sturm against Austria Vienna in the ÖFB Cup quarter-finals. More than 13,000 tickets sold for that game. That one's selling out slowly. Not too many left available. It is a brilliant start that the fixture list has thrown up for 2025 for SKSturm, actually. Not just the Champions League games against Atalanta and Leipzig, but then these two meetings at home in Graz against Austria Wien. They're the nearest challengers, second place in the Bundesliga table right now. And they're a team that Austria will not want to be facing. Sturm have knocked them out of the cup, including a really tense and tight game on last season's run to the cup final. And now two more fixtures, Sturm against Austria Vienna, coming up right at the start of 2025. Once in the cup quarterfinals, once in the league. And they could be trend-setting in a way for the season. If Sturm can come out on top of both of those meetings against Austria Vienna, they'll put themselves at the beginning of 2025 onto some really firm foundations. Chance for a cross for Lugano. It's high up across the area. Really floated across towards nobody in particular, but that's given away. And the snapshot is over the top. It's a bit of a let-off for Sturm there. The initial cross didn't look to have caused too much danger at all. Renato Steffen passes up the chance on the half volley to give Lugano a lead midway through this first half. He still looks frustrated with himself there, Renato Steffen. Just making triple figures, Renato Steffen, in terms of appearances at Lugano. He's been with the club for a couple of years now. Up to 100 games played. Good tackle to stop Zvonarek from breaking away. Now this one's given away. Can Sturm capitalise? Zvonarek went for the pass, blocked by the defence. That's a let-off now for Lugano. Sturm had a let-off of their own. Loose cross a couple of minutes ago, and Lavallee's touch fed Renato Steffen for the half volley that was only over the bar, but now Sturm have let Lugano off themselves. That was gifted back to SKSturm. They had three white shirts forward attacking that final third. Steffen happy to take a little bit of tempo out of the game and just knock it back into the defence for Lugano. We're midway through the first half. Still Lugano 0, Sturm Graz 0. If you're just joining us, the first friendly of the 2025 winter training camp for Lugano and Sturm Graz. Both teams with some half chances on goal. Renato Steffen here with the number 11 jersey, who feeds this one in towards the area. He's probably had the best chance of anybody so far. Daniel Kudyakov has had a couple of saves to make, but they've been what you would describe as routine stops. One good reflex save getting down low, and another very simple gather from a header on target. But Steffen maybe had the opening goal on his boot there with the half volley opportunity a couple of minutes ago. Sturm look to have put that out of their minds though, as Lavallee brings it back towards Geierhofer. Malik Yalkuye. Good drop of the shoulder from Yalkuye. He's been a real hit this season. The 19-year-old. Hard to believe that Jalkuye is only 19. Still so much talent, so much development ahead for Jalkuye, the man on loan from Brighton in the English Premier League. Oh, the through ball just slips past its intended target. Jalkuye has become such a pivotal figure in that Sturm Graz midfield this season. Looked so comfortable, even in the Champions League, even at that level. The drop of the shoulder that you saw from Jalkuye just a second ago just sums up his confidence on the ball, really. Brighton currently in mid-table in the Premier League in England. And they'll be keeping a watchful eye on the progress of Malik Jalkuye, of course. They might even be watching this. If you're watching it, Brighton, you don't need him back anytime soon. Sturm still with a player down, and the shot dragged towards the near post. It wasn't quite caught properly, and Kudyakov could gather it. It's Jalkuye who's back on his feet, running a little gingerly, but he should be okay. And now, Sturm look to make a bit of room down the right-hand side. The cutback from Leon Girgic. No way of keeping that in play. Looks like Sidi Yatta is the man down just behind the goal line. Albion Haidari helping him back to his feet. Nice sportsmanship there from the Lugano man. We've not seen too much of Sidi Yatta yet, the young Norwegian. Lugano discussing what to do with this throw, and it looks like Martin Marques, the young Portuguese player, will be the one to decide what to do with it, and eventually it goes back towards the keeper. Renato Stefan again picks out the right pass inside, and now the through ball threaded through the Sturm Graz defence, but there was no way of getting on the end of it for the Lugano strikers. And Zvonarek with a good turn. Now maybe a chance to move forward. Girgic goes for the first time pass, and it does slip through. Space over on the right-hand side. Chichikwani. Jalkuye to the corner of the penalty area. Jalkuye might be able to shoot from here. Shot blocked. It comes back for Jalkuye again. Loops over to the left-hand side and out of play. That's the first attack for a little while for the Schwarz-Weiß, where they've really been able to get their teeth sunk into the attack and stick with it for more than one phase. Malik Jalkuye for a second there looked as though he was going to get into a great position to hit the target, but enough sky blue shirts eventually getting in the way. Quick block there from Lovro Zvonarek, keeping Lugano back in a defensive position. Now, white shirts of Sturm have to track back. Lugano moving into the box at pace. Can they create a shooting opportunity? Across the D it goes. The referee says no foul. Sturm have dealt with that. It looked difficult to deal with, but they managed to get the job done. Good confident movement forward again from Jalkuye. Such a good carrier of the ball. Zvonarek lifts it up and over with the right foot. He's had a couple of sighters today already, the young Croat. This time took aim for the top corner and just lifted the shot too high. And no danger ultimately for Sebastian Ozigwe, the Nigerian goalkeeper. You saw Leon Girgic there on your screens very briefly. I did say to watch out for him at the beginning of the game, and then of course since then he hasn't had all that much to do. clash here over on the Sturm right-hand side. Will be a Sturm Graz free kick after that. Half an hour just about up on the clock at the Campo La Quinta in Marbella, and Sturm will have the free kick. Again, it's Lovro Zvonarek, who's been very busy today. He'll be the one to perhaps send in a right-footed cross. Zvonarek is headed out simply from the edge of the area. Couldn't find a white shirt in the middle. Sturm will try and win the ball back quickly high upfield. That's something they're no strangers to. Instead, it's all the way back for Kudyakov. Just to continue with what I was mentioning earlier about Leon Grigic, the young number 38. His record at all levels for SKSturm has been so impressive so far, given his age. The man from Broek aan de Moer. 5 goals and an assist in 5 UEFA Youth League games this season. It's a really, really impressive return. One of the absolute stars for Sturm's UEFA Youth League team in their first outing in the competition. But not only that, he's got 3 goals in 4 Bundesliga games too. Scored 4 times for the second team of SKSturm as well this season in the second division of Austrian football. Showed his maturity as the captain of the UEFA Youth League team, but now Sturm have a corner and a chance maybe to hit the front with about a quarter of an hour to go in the first half. Right-footed corner, high into the box. It comes down for Geierhofer. It was rolled towards the goal, but nobody could catch it with any power or pace. Lugano looking to break on the left-hand side. Out it goes towards the dugout of the Swiss team. Coach Mattia Crocci-Torti is over there. Only 42 years of age, the Lugano coach. Has a history with Lugano as a player as well. Won the Challenge League actually with Lugano as a player just over 20 years ago. Took the team to a Swiss Cup title in 2022, but it's been all change at Lugano in the last couple of years. They've got Joe Mansueto now as their owner. Same owner as Chicago Fire in MLS in the United States. So if you see the Lugano squad, there's a lot of players with a history of appearances also for Chicago Fire. They switch players between the two clubs quite frequently, but now Sturm win it back and they've got 4 white shirts pouring forward. Only 3 defenders back at the moment. Here's the first big chance for Gigic to put Sturm Graz a goal forward, and he tucks it away. Gigic with a clinical finish when the chance was presented. That's not the first time today that Sturm have won the ball back in a good position, but this time they were ruthless. The pass met Leon Grigic and he steered it into the bottom corner on the instep of his right boot. A comfortable finish for a man who's only 18 years of age, but like I said, impressing not only for the senior side but also for the youth league team and for the second team. Everything that Leon Grigic is doing is pointing towards a great career with the Sturm Graz senior side. So it's SKSturm who hit the front in Marbella. Grigic slotting in the goal with just over half an hour gone. Lugano now find themselves on the back foot as we come towards the final period of the first half. Sturm with another through ball. This time, the pass across the box is just about blocked. There was a hint maybe of handball there. Looked like Lavallee, who slotted the ball across the area, but the challenge just about was able to keep it from getting across into the danger area for Lugano, and that could have been a second big chance in a matter of seconds for SKSturm. As it was, Lugano hold on, and they've won themselves a free kick over on the right-hand side. That's floated down the left. It's a well-weighted pass, actually. Lugano have had a couple of those today. Down there in the left corner is Hisham Mahu again, who we saw hit the shot wide of Daniel Kudiakov's right-hand post earlier on in the game. Now Lugano have themselves a corner kick. 10 minutes to go before the break. Looks like Shkelkin Vladi is the one to take this. He's got teammates in the middle, goes for the pass out of the area instead. Sturm again, well marshalled, well organised, and they get the block in. Now maybe another chance to lift something into the box. Mahu leads it out to the touchline into the shady area over on the left of the pitch for Lugano. And again, their cross floated without much pace. They tend to go for the backspin, Lugano, when they're putting these balls into the area. Well, they have done at least today. They've not been particularly effective at picking out light blue shirts in the box. Geierhofer. Kudiakov clears with the right foot. Quick header on. It was a nice idea from Novrozvonorek. The defenders reacted just in time. There are a couple of interesting defenders in the Lugano squad. Mattia Zanotti, the young right-back from Italy. Albion Haidari as well, a left-sided full-back. Both of them rumoured to have market values well north of €5 million. That's not given in the Swiss Super League. Haidari, young Swiss Kosovan centre-back, just 21 years of age, playing with the number 5 jersey. Mattia Zanotti with the number 46 jersey, who's had his career starting at Inter. Played for St. Gallen as well before joining Lugano. Scored 2 goals and got 5 assists in 21 games in all competitions for Lugano. Good record for a young fullback. That ball's chipped out towards Renato Steffen. And Bislimi, the midfielder, tried to get something going for Lugano over on the right, but it didn't really work out. Bislimi's ball didn't bring Lugano forward. Sturm repelling attacks once again. Yalkuye snapping into the challenges. That work rate, that effort, that energy, it's almost infectious from Malik Yalkuye. When you've got one player in the midfield who's running after everything, just going in for every challenge, it just subconsciously encourages everybody else in white shirts around him to do the same. A real team leader in the making in Malik Yalkuye. Now maybe a bit of room for Lugano to strike at pace. Down the right they'll go. It's flicked on down the right-hand side. Bislimi this time with a better ball, but nowhere to go. Gaia Hoffers over to cover. Lugano have only a throw-in for their troubles. In fact, it might actually be a Sturm Graz throw. Perfect outcome for the Sturm defence. Dimitri Lavallee has the ball in his hands. A man who came in from Mechelen in the summer of last year. Lavallee, only 27 years of age, but by far and away one of the most experienced players in this young Sturm Graz squad. Jürgen Säumel has inherited a team with an average age of below 24. Out it goes through the left flank. So it was Lavallee who picked up the ball there in the advanced position over on the left flank. As you can see, the two teams, the rest of the squad's in training in the background. It's a beautiful training complex in Marbella at the Campo La Quinta. It's a golf club here as well. I'm sure some of the players will be using that in their spare time, if they get any. Corner sent in towards the near post. It's volleyed away. Back in it comes. Can Sturm make room for a shot? Yes, they can, but it's deflected off the leg of the goalkeeper and up and over. Yalkuye has his hands on his head, and no wonder, because that looked for all the world as though Sturm were about to make the lead 2-0. Somehow they didn't double the advantage. Sebastian Ozigwe with a massive save. Shooting position was a good one. The shot was on target. The keeper even went the wrong way. But Ozigwe could stick out the boots and turn the ball up and over for another Sturm Graz corner. 41 minutes on the clock. Almost half time in Marbella. Sturm corner. Headed on at the front post. Sturm will keep it alive here in the middle. But Lugano can boot it to safety as far as Stefan Hierländer. Jatta working hard to try and win something over on the right hand side, and he has won something. Couldn't get the ball, but gets a throw in at least for his troubles. It's Arjen Malic with the number 23 jersey, who's over to take this for Sturm. He's only 19, Malic. Born in Slovenia, plays as an under-21 international already for Bosnia, which is no mean feat at 19 years of age. Got his first taste of senior Champions League football as well in the match against Lille. Had a very brief Bundesliga appearance this season too, in the 5-0 victory against Salzburg, which I'm sure anybody of a Sturm persuasion who's watching this won't need to be reminded of. A really, really significant fixture in Austrian football, seeing Sturm Graz dismantle Salzburg by 5-0 a couple of months ago. A game that will live long in the memory for Sturm Graz fans. A game that really signals Sturm as the best team in Austria right now. And they lead against the table toppers from the Swiss Super League. Corner ball Sturm. In it goes, the header on, just up and over the top. Jatta it was. He got his head on it, but couldn't quite keep it below the crossbar. Sturm now, since going 1-0 up, have really taken command of this game. And they win the ball back straight away again. Jatta from the edge of the area. Side netting. And back behind the goal only. Sigway did walk into the goal to go and retrieve that ball, but had to get it out from behind the back of the net rather than in the back of the net. Throw in for Lugano. Can they muster some kind of comeback in the last couple of minutes before the half-time interval? You'd expect in a winter-friendly game like this that the half-time whistle will blow in 1 minute, and any injury time will not really be added. It doesn't tend to be in winter training camps like this. 2 times 45 minutes. Both coaches and the referee probably feel that that's enough. Hierländer waiting for the pass in from Aivu. Aivu looks back for the young keeper Kudyakov instead. Quite a couple of months it has been for Kudyakov. 2 appearances in Bundesliga. Played in the Champions League too, including in the win against Girona. What a time to make your debut on such a big stage, but Kudyakov has held up to the pressure. Sturm with an embarrassment of riches in goal, really. Scherpen, of course, will be coming back, you'd expect, once the competitive fixtures come around again. Scherpen rested for today. There's been Yeti and Wiener Pusha as well, the young Sturm Graz keepers, but nobody will be called upon to do anything more before the break here. The referee's whistle blows, and indeed, half-time comes whilst Lugano are still waiting to get the ball restarted from the free kick. The half-time score from the La Quinta Football Centre in Marbella: Lugano 0, Sturm Graz 1. Leon Grigic slotting in the best chance of the game. A clinical finish 33 minutes into the contest, and Sturm have held the upper hand since then. There'll be a lot of changes to be made by Jürgen Säumel at the break. We'll see some new faces, some fresh legs in the white shirts of SKSturm for the second half, but don't go anywhere. There's a lot of action still to come from Marbella. The half-time score though: Lugano 0, Sturm Graz 1.
Gegen, ihr startet.
Und Jänner. Attack the first post, okay?
Bravo.
Yes, Amadi. Bien.
Zwei Champignon.
On y va. And let's go. Yeah, Tommy, be ready. Yes, come on. Yes, good.
Ja, guter Start. Start und bitte. Ja,
Amadi. Yes, good. And next one. Yeah, Tommy. Attack the first post. Yes, come on. Bravo.
ja, da ist er Gegen. Kontrolle.
Ja, nice.
Bravo, Schofi.
Und attackiert die erste Stange. Yes, Tommy. Komm. Tommy, space. Second time to switch. Yes, Amadi. Attack the first post. Yes, Amadi. Yes, good.
Attackier. Yes, bravo.
Now it's glowing.
No, it's still, for some reason, it still works. It's a really sturdy FPV.
Yes, I think
Possiamo cacciare?
Everybody said, good throw, you have to manage that.
Vai Zani, iniziamo con te a destra. Andiamo. Con Zani, andiamo con Zani, andiamo. Zano. Andiamo, sì. Mitor. Va bene raga, andiamo. Next. Dai, cross, cross. Andiamo. Vai, Zano. Go. Vai, Zano.
Welcome back to Marbella for the second half of this winter-friendly match between FC Lugano of Switzerland and Sturm Graz of Austria. Lugano in light blue back out on the pitch and knocking the ball around as they get ready for kick-off for the second half. They trail by a goal to nil. It was Leon Grigic who slotted in after a pass from Stefan Hierländer. Sturm winning the ball back in a good position and able to break forward quickly, and Grigic with an emphatic and confident finish, slotting the ball in with his right foot past goalkeeper Sebastian Ozigwe and into the back of the net for the only goal of the first half. Sturm have looked good since going ahead, especially before that. Renato Steffen had missed a good chance for Lugano, a defensive mix-up at the back after a harmless cross. That was knocked down and Renato Steffen volleyed it up and over the top of the goal of the Sturm Graz keeper Daniil Kudyakov, the young Russian in between the sticks today. He should, according to the notes, stay in goal for the second half. But other than that, it's pretty much all change. We're looking at a back four now of Max Johnston, Konstantin Schopp, Grigory Vutric and Emir Karic. Stankovic and Kitaishvili in the midfield with Horvat, Amadi Kamara and Oliver Zorg further forward. And Belmin Beganovic up top for SKSturm for this second half. Let's see whether Jürgen Zeumel does indeed opt to make all of those changes as slated before the game. Always a challenge for a commentator when it's 10 or 11 changes per side. We might have an all-new Lugano lineup as well for this second 45 minutes, but it doesn't matter. It's been a good game so far. Sturm battling hard. They've looked good in the midfield when they've come forward. The talents of Malik Yalkuye, Sochi Chukwuani, just for example, shining through. Stefan Hierländer having an impact as well when the ball has come his way. Lovros Vonarek with a very busy first half indeed, putting himself about a bit, getting involved in a lot of Sturm Graz attacks. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen in the first half, then don't forget there's live football to be played for Sturm Graz soon as well, and tickets available. If you head to shop.SKSturm.AT, you can get your hands on tickets for the home clash in Klagenfurt between Sturm Graz and RB Leipzig in the UEFA Champions League. That's coming up on the 29th of January. 25,500 tickets already sold. If you go to shop.SKSturm.at, you can get your hands on some of the rest of those before they're sold out. Sturm with an outside chance of continuing in the Champions League. They need something special from their games against Atalanta. And then that home game, everybody's focus pinned on that home game against RB Leipzig. Maybe, just maybe, a miracle can happen for Sturm. They would have deserved it, given the nature of their performances in the UEFA Champions League phase so far. You have to remember, this is a Sturm Graz team which really, with the average age of these players, most of them weren't even alive, or certainly not old enough to be playing football last time that Sturm were in UEFA Champions League action more than 20 years ago. And yet they've come in this season. They've been unlucky in quite a number of games. They've lost by a small margin several times now, but with the win against Girona, there is just about something possible for these games in January. But as I said, you can still get tickets for the game against RB Leipzig. And there are tickets as well available for the game at the Merkur Arena in Graz on the 1st of February. As Sturm take on Austria Wien in the ÖFB Cup quarter-finals. 13,000 tickets sold for that one so far, so not too many left. That one on course to be a sellout on the 1st of February, 6:15 p.m. kickoff. Maybe you're watching today as one of the international fans of SK Sturm Graz. Maybe you're outside of Austria. Well, you can always get over here. There's an airport in Graz. There's an airport in the Austrian capital as well, in Vienna. And the train ride, about 2.5 hours it takes between Vienna and Graz. And that train ride is just about one of the best and most beautiful in Austria. So if you are thinking of coming over, if you find a good flight price to Vienna, then don't hesitate to give it a go and then get to shop.SKSturm.at and get hold of some tickets for one of the games. 2 massive matches against Austria Vienna coming up at the start of the year on top of those Champions League games. Lugano have got things started for the second half, and Sturm, as the flag goes up on the near side, they were looking to win that back quickly with Amadi Camara. Sturm fans will have great memories of Amadi Camara's last goal. He's been out for most of October, November and December with an illness. The number 36 Amadi Camara, the 19-year-old Malian, slotted in the second goal on the final day of last season to essentially guarantee that the title was going to Sturm Graz. An incredible finish in the Bundesliga season. Sturm with that nervous game against Austria Klagenfurt, needing a goal to win the title. There was a Swiss player, in fact, Gregory Wüthrich, who put them ahead in that game, but Lugano have gifted one to Sturm in this game. 90 seconds into the second half, and the back pass from the right-back position has caught the goalkeeper unawares. He lost his footing for good measure, and the ball has just slipped all the way through and in. It's not really one to celebrate for Sturm Graz, to be fair. It doesn't really bring any benefit in a friendly like this, but it is a bizarre way to double the advantage. Sturm will have profited a lot more and gained a lot more from the goal that Leon Grigic scored in the first half, but still, a gift of an own goal, you'll take it. But it was a very, very strange way to double the lead. A through pass from Konstantin Schopp, too far. Schopp, of course, one of the new faces in the defence for the second half. Schopp, just 19 years of age, played 5 times in the group stages of the UEFA Youth League this season. Son, of course, of Markus Schopp. For those of you who perhaps don't know, Konstantin Schopp, son of Markus Schopp, who's the current LASK coach. Markus Schopp spent many years with Hartberg, as Sturm go looking for number 3. This time the goalkeeper can hold on to it. I'll go through that second half lineup again, as there's been so many changes from Jürgen Säumel at half-time. And there's a stoppage now. Goalkeeper for Lugano just waiting to get things back underway again. The referee's whistle tells him he's good to go. Sturm playing with Kudiakov in goal again for the second half. Johnston, Schopp, Wüttrich and Karic as the back four. Stankovic and Kiteishvili further forward in midfield with Horvat, Amadi Kamara and Oliver Zorg in the attacking midfield positions. And Belmin Beganovic as the central striker. Lugano forward, the ball slotted through into the box. It might just stay in here. Back into the middle it goes, but it's headed out well. Will shop at the near post, and then eventually Johnston can boot it downfield. And if you're just joining us for the second half, it was Leon Grigic with a clinical finish after 33 minutes that put Sturm Graz 1-0 ahead. Took his chance really well, side-footing it with the right foot past the goalkeeper. A finish of real confidence from the young striker. That will do him no harm at all in this winter training camp. And then the second goal coming 90 seconds after the restart via a pretty strange own goal. Lugano in the right back position, just turning and playing it towards the goalkeeper. Everybody wrong-footed, caught out, and the ball drifting into the empty net. Horvat stands over the free kick chance for Sturm. A dead ball with 50 minutes on the clock. Sturm leading by 2 now. Horvat with the left-footed in-swinging delivery. It's headed up but not away. Volleyed from the edge of the box by Amadi Kamara. But that one well off target. Kamara, as I said, yet to score for Sturm this season. He's made 9 appearances in the Bundesliga, but missed a whole chunk at the end of 2024 with an illness, the young Malian. Last time he was celebrating, everybody who supports Sturm Graz was celebrating with him as Kamara scored the goal to make it 2-0 and effectively seal the Bundesliga title for Sturm at the end of last season. Sturm, of course, the current Cup and Bundesliga title holders in Austria. And at top of the table once again. Lugano move it down the right side. Mahmoud couldn't do anything with it, and instead Sturm go in the other direction. So Lugano looking to settle in the contest now, having conceded that own goal so early in the second half. It's doubled the advantage for Sturm. It's taken Lugano into a position where coming back to get the win looks pretty unlikely, but they'll just try and steady the ship, try and build themselves back into the game after a rocky start to the second period here for Mattia Crocitotti's team. Long ball down the left is a good one. Shot out muscling the number 10. It was Mattia Botani who was chasing that down for Lugano, but the youngster Konstantin Schopp was able to get the job done in defence. And now he passes the ball across to get things started, but it's lost there by Karic. No pressure. Sturm just let that one roll through to the goalkeeper. Well, if you're not used to listening to SKSturm games with English commentary, then thanks for sticking with it if you are in Austria. I hope you're enjoying it, whether English or German. And if you're watching from outside of Austria, if you're one of Sturm Graz's international fans, we hope you're enjoying this chance to have a Sturm Graz game played live with English commentary. Here comes Sturm once again down the right-hand side with one of their English-speaking players, actually. It's Max Johnston, the man born in Middlesbrough in the north of England. Played for Scottish clubs in his career and plays as a Scottish under-21 international as well. Born just south of the border. But it's only a matter of time now, you'd think, before Max Johnston makes his first senior appearance for the Scotland national team. Picked up some valuable Champions League experience this season as well, Max Johnston, one of many players who was called into action with so many defensive injuries. Sturm win this back. They've got it on the edge of the area. The challenge is just in time from the Lugano defence. Just going back to the English-speaking topic, I know there are some fans in England watching this one. If you go onto Twitter, you can find Sturm in UK, an English-based Sturm Graz fan club. It's really great what they're doing. Regular flights over to Austria to come and watch Sturm Graz. Really dedicated fans over in England. And the club, of course, open to international fans, and the fans open to other international fans too, it seems. The international fans, in my experience, being very well received in the terraces of the Merkur Arena. Sturm happy to have their fan base growing as the club grows, recaptures some of that international stature. That's what happens as well, just naturally when you play Champions League football. Just open yourself up to an audience of fans and people who love football who haven't necessarily seen the club too many times, but when you're at Champions League level, people start taking a look. The same goes really for the Europa League and the Conference League too. Once you're up into European football, people across the continent and wider are going to take note. And Sturm, in the last couple of years, have certainly been worth taking note of. Incredible what the team has done up against the previous Austrian powerhouses of Red Bull Salzburg. Now Sturm initially offered great competition to Salzburg. Now they seem to have surpassed them. This is, of course, a preparation game for the challenges that lie ahead for Sturm in 2025. But first and foremost in those challenges, it's defending the Bundesliga and Cup trophies, as that one spills away from Kudyakov. But the young Sturm keeper is able to get back and gather at the second opportunity. For those of you who wanted to see more of Leon Grigic, there is a chance he's still laced up and ready to go for this second half if called upon. Grigic, Malic and Laura Friefer, one of the UEFA Youth League players of Sturm Graz, they're on the bench and ready to go if needed in the second half. The curling effort from Lugano. The effort was whipped in with the right foot of Mattia Botani. Just curled it wide of the top corner. Lugano have the ball back in defence, and it's been a bit of a flat spell in terms of Sturm's attacking prowess. The new look lineup for the second half yet to really hit its stride, but there's time for that. And Sturm are 2 to the good on the scoreboard, of course, with just about 58 minutes played in Marbella. Well, if you are wondering about some of the Sturm first team players today, there's several players who are here with the squad in Marbella. They're training with the team. They've just been left out just to be protected and rested for this game. There's only so many players who can get onto the pitch anyway. Jürgen Soimel didn't need to use absolutely anybody and absolutely everybody. It was important to give some of the younger players a chance too. And some of the senior players who are fit and ready, or indeed still recovering, well, they don't necessarily need to be in use for this matchup. And they're training individually at the side of the pitch as Lugano hit a bouncing effort wide of the target. No real danger again for keeper Kudyakov. And the players rested today who are here in attendance and training in the background. Kjell Scherpen, the goalkeeper. He's recovered successfully from the small operation that he had towards the end of 2024. That's why Daniil Kudyakov, this man in yellow, that's why he made his Champions League debut and came on to play in the Bundesliga as well towards the end of 2024, because Scherpen was no longer available. But he should be back and ready for the beginning of the competitive games. Alexander Borkovic recovering from his long spell on the sidelines with the ACL injury. He's missing for today's match as well, but he's in training with the team. Borkovic getting closer to a comeback. Irving and Biereth also here in Marbella and training with the team. Just rested for this clash. Of course, a lot of talk about transfer rumours for Mika Biereth. He's still a Sturm Graz player for now. He's still here with the team and training. Just rested and protected for today's game, but it won't have escaped many Sturm fans' notice as Lugano slide one wide of the far post. It won't have escaped many Sturm fans notice, of course, that Mika Biereth has been linked with moves away from the club this winter. That's no surprise at all, really, given the incredible performances that the young Danish player has put in. 11 goals and 4 assists in 16 Bundesliga games this season. Twice a goal scorer in the UEFA Champions League as well, including scoring the winner as the offside flag is up to thwart another Lugano attack. There, of course, have been clubs interested in Biereth. That is the least you'd expect, but Sturm have got a really strong negotiating position when it comes to their prolific striker, Biereth. They've got a long contract signed and sealed, Sturm Graz, and that means if anybody wants to prize away Mika Biereth, they'll have to pay properly for it. It's always a case of weighing things up with transfers like this. Sturm have been so good at that in recent years, working out when to sell at the right time, bringing in the big money, but he's got a release clause in the summer. And if anybody wants to buy Mika Biereth in winter, there's simply no option about it. They'd have to beat that release clause quite significantly. Otherwise, Sturm are perfectly capable of holding on to Mika Biereth and hoping that the prolific form he's in front of goal will be enough to help the Schwarz-Weiß defend their Bundesliga title and defend their ÖFB Cup title. Kudyakov with a bit of difficulty to control that one. Initially came out and slid in with the feet. The ball slipped underneath him, but he was able to get down and gather it, the 20-year-old Russian. Good pass around the corner. Camera laying it off. And now the chance to run forward. Good tackle at just the right time there. Sturm trying to move forward with pace now. Horvat. It's the first time they've got into the final third in a few minutes this. Through ball into the box, cut out, but it's played against his own defender there. Lugano get it clear, but Max Johnston will pick that up over on the right flank. Less than half an hour to play. Still Lugano 0, Sturm Graz 2. Lugano have had the upper hand in the second half. Kitaishvili lurking near the edge of the area, but the ball doesn't quite fall his way. Shop steps up to make the challenge, and Shop is penalised for the tackle. Lugano with a bit of confidence under pressure there. Pass behind its target. Lugano can keep it in play. The captain now, Mattia Bottani, coming back to hold on to that for the Sky Blues of Lugano. Their usual club colours, black and white of course, just like SKSturm. They've got a big game against Basel. Tabletop clash in the Swiss Super League on Sunday the 19th of January. The referee signals for a Lugano free kick, but it's just outside the area. Bottani again, the player fouled. He's been pretty influential in this second half, Mattia Bottani. You would expect that as one of their more senior players. Milton Valenzuela, the Argentine, heading over there too. Could be Valenzuela to take this. They're just deciding whether this is going to be a left-footed or right-footed delivery for Lugano. Looks to me like it's going to be the right-footed option. And it's the pass instead, and it's slotted down with the left-footed shot from the edge of the box. Yannis Simignani, the young Frenchman, he would have hit the target. Too many bodies in the way though, the ball was blocked, and Lugano pick it up again over on the right flank. Well, aside from that strange own goal at the beginning of the second half, Lugano have really responded well since the break. There is a reason, of course, why Lugano lead the Super League right now, ahead of Basel, ahead of Lausanne Sport, ahead of Luzerne and Servette. So close there, 31 points to Lugano. Their two nearest challengers, Basel and Lausanne, on 30 points. Ball into the box is brought down. The square ball comes to nothing for Lugano, but they'll pick up the loose ball anyway. And they'll win a free kick again. Dead ball situation for Lugano over on the right. Sturm with a bit of organisation to be done in this second half. This time they go direct into the middle. Kudyakov manages to get a touch on it, and it's fired home. The touch came in from inside the 6-yard box, and I think that's going to rule the goal offside. Indeed it does. Lugano had one back on the board, but they touched it in quite unnecessarily. That looked as though it was going in anyway before it took that final touch from close range. Lugano costing themselves the chance to get one back on the board. Sturm have the free kick now, and they'll get things started on the halfway line. Konstantin Shop. That key goes to Kudyakov again, but Sturm have had trouble getting forward in the first half of this second half. Midway through the second half now, Sturm with a comfortable lead on the scoreboard, but the match has been a good test. That, I suppose, is the whole point of these winter friendlies. This is exactly what Jürgen Säumel would have wanted. Sturm leading. Grgic picking up some confidence by scoring a nice goal. The team at the moment heading for the win. But they'll know too that Lugano have caused them some issues and given them some trouble spots to perhaps go away and work on. Pretty much the perfect scenario for the first winter friendly of 2025. Good work. Patience on the ball from Kitaishvili. Sturm have a bit of possession. They haven't been able to hold on to the ball for long spells in this second half. Can they do so this time? Kitaishvili goes out to the left flank. He'll get it back, Kitaishvili. Player of the Bundesliga season last year. The Georgian, one of the most experienced heads in the Sturm Graz squad. 6 goals and 4 assists in 16 league games this season. Scored in the Champions League in Lille as well. Shop going in for the aerial challenge, and he didn't win the ball but gave his opponent some troubles. Sturm able to hold on to the ball this time, but forced slowly back, and now Lugano have it, and they can slot it through. 2 Lugano players forward. If they can get it across the goal, they should finally get one into the back of the net, and indeed they do. The deficit reduced. Lugano hit the target, and it's back to 2-1. You can't say it hadn't been coming. That time Lugano able to win the ball back over on the right hand side. They got it across goal, and there was nothing that Daniel Kudiakov could do. That was as easy a finish as you can possibly get. I wonder now whether that will change things for Sturm, who've been a little bit passive in this second half. Can they come out and show their teeth in attack now? Kitaishvili goes back. Goran Stankovic waiting for an option to present itself, which it does. Max Johnston. Johnston taking on his man, delivering the cross. That's a little bit better. The cross itself wasn't perfect, far from it from Max Johnston, but he was trying to get something into the middle. Antonios Papadopoulos there with the number 6 jersey for Lugano, the man who spent a long time as a fringe centre-back for Borussia Dortmund. One of Sturm's Champions League phase opponents this season, of course. So changes made for Lugano. They've made a new signing in this winter window as well, Lugano. They'll be keen to find out whatever they can about their new striker. It's Georgios Koutsias, the 20-year-old Greek striker that they've brought in on loan from Chicago Fire. Former PAOK player in his native Greece. pacey under-21 international Kutsias. Just the next long line of links up. Chicago Fire in the USA and Lugano in Switzerland. They are the Swiss table toppers right now, Lugano. This is no small team that Sturm are up against. They're owned by Joe Mansueto, the owner of Chicago Fire in the MLS. They've got money, they've got connections, and they're using it really well at the moment in Switzerland. They've been steadily rising. Mansueto's takeover of Lugano came in 2021. Since then, their league finishes show a really healthy progression for the club. 4th in the Swiss Super League, then 3rd, then 2nd, and now this season, a big question mark as Lugano get another shot that sails just wide of the far post. Kudyakov was able to let it go, but it took a deflection on its way through. Sturm pushed back again as we enter the closing stages of this game. This time it's out of the area and Sturm can pick up possession here. Can they get away around the corner? They can. It's sent forward as well. Pass from Camera. It's Loda Frifa who's waiting for it. The ball doesn't come his way. Instead, it goes to Younger and Stankovic. Kitaishvili, will he try a long shot there? He might have thought about it for just a second. A player like that, with the ability on the right and left foot of Kitaishvili, he doesn't need a second invitation to have a go at goal. And here he is again, Kitaishvili. Stankovic goes across the area. Hamadi Camera. Can Camera shoot from there? Good switch back. Fires it across the box with the right foot, and then the shot towards the bottom corner. Just wide of the target, ultimately. Better this from SKSturm though. They lead 2-1 with a quarter of an hour to play. Fortis Pseftis, the Greek 21-year-old goalkeeper. Some good training minutes in goal for Pseftis, the Lugano stopper. So the man in pink has picked the ball out of the back of the net once in this second half, right at the beginning, thanks to the own goal. Other than that, he's had very little to do, in fairness. Sturm leading 2-1 thanks to a 33rd minute goal from Leon Grigic. Slotted the ball in really nicely. Such a confident finish. You couldn't help but notice that. Sturm won the ball back quickly on the break after 33 minutes. Hielender slid the pass forward. And when it came into the box for Grigic, he was behind the line of defence. He did not think twice about sticking the ball in the bottom corner past the goalkeeper. Sturm Graz may well have a really prolific talent on their hands in the number 38, Leon Grigic, but he's been rested for this second half. Lugano are coming back quite strongly. Roman Maciek standing over the free kick. Milton Valenzuela as well, one of the options. It's Valenzuela with the left-footed delivery and it's headed on across the centre of the 6-yard box. The ball glanced wide of the far post. Sturm hang on again. They've not had the same rhythm and flow in this second half as they did before the break. I'll just offer a quick reminder that there's more Sturm Graz football from the winter training camp coming up on SKSturm.TV or SKSturm.TV, however you prefer to say it. On Saturday, the next of the friendly fixtures comes up against Grasshopper Club of Zurich, another Swiss opponent. And Sturm will be back in action, and you'll be able to see it here in the very same place once again on Saturday.
Diamogli ritmo agli ultimi 10 minuti alla palla! Diamogli ritmo alla palla!
Jimmy!
Tranquillo!
Want to chase down there for Sturm, and it was close. Amadi Camera moves over for it. With the number 42 over on the right flank for Sturm right now. It's Lord Afrifa who's come on in place of Tommy Horvat. Young Ghanaian Lord Afrifa, 10 appearances in the Zweite Liga in Austria's second tier this season. Played all 6 of Sturm's UEFA Youth League matches so far. He's really shown maturity beyond his 18 years, Lord Afrifa, especially in the Youth League. It has been a historic season for Sturm. Not only do they lead the Bundesliga in the senior team, but the second team are safely in mid-table of the second division right now. They're well away from the relegation battle, just as they wanted to be before the season. That was really the goal for Jürgen Zeumel's team. And they've pulled that off so far. In the Youth League as well, the first ever appearance in the UEFA Youth League for Sturm. They've just outperformed all expectations. They've gone through into the next round. And they'll meet Lokomotiva Zagreb. Now Stankovic into the box. It's side-footed across. That was nice football from Sturm. They'll hold on to the ball now. FIFA inside for Stankovic. Kitaishvili. Good to see Stankovic back after his arm injury that ruled him out of a significant part of the season so far. Good interplay. Sturm getting forward more now. Stankovic's ball in was a good one. Oliver Sorg, who we've not seen too much of over on that left-hand side, he's able to just about keep that in play, the number 33. Lugano break away from the right-back position, though. Oliver Sorg, actually another of the players in UEFA Youth League action this season. He was in the Champions League squad for the game against Club Brugge, but played 5 UEFA Youth League games aside from that. He's only 17, Oliver Sorg. Left-sided fullback. Plays as a left winger as well, or a left-sided midfielder. That's where he's engaged today, over on the Sturm left. Wüttrich, the Swiss, stepping forward against the Swiss opposition. But Lugano hold on to the ball. 10 minutes to go, just under. Lugano looking for an equaliser. It'll come out towards the goal scorer over on the left-hand side. Lugano combining passes well now, but they can't move forward at the moment. Lugano on the left side, over the halfway line they go. Is there to be a late equaliser for the team at the top of the Swiss table? The ball into the middle is headed away comfortably. Kitaishvili lets it slip under the boot though. Lugano have it back. Over on the right hand side, it's played across the middle, off the bar it goes, and Kudiakov to the rescue. Sturm will have the free kick inside the penalty area. It's Jon Goretz Stankovic who's gone down, but that was millimetres away from a Lugano leveller there. The low ball across from the right hand side, pokes towards the goal. Kudiakov beat him, but it came back off the crossbar, and the keeper responded really quickly. Johnston in contact with the referee there, just saying that he felt that was a bit of a studs-up challenge, a bit of an unnecessary tackle, risking the health of Goretz Stankovic. He does look to be in a bit of pain here, Unser and Stankovic. It's the magic spray coming out onto the ankle. It's the prolific striker Przybyłko of Poland who's over there waiting for Unser and Stankovic to get back to his feet. The number 70 is the new man, the goal scorer, Georgios Koutsias. What a great start for him at Lugano. Good to see Unser and Stankovic at least able to hobble to the side of the pitch without any help. Hopefully, he'll have a quick looking at and then he'll get back into the action and onto the field. But at the moment, we've got 6 minutes to go and Daniel Kudyakov, the young Russian goalkeeper, will get the ball downfield for Sturm. It's still Lugano 1, Sturm 2. The first winter friendly of the training camp at Campo La Quinta in Marbella. At the moment, it's going Sturm's way. Still time for Lugano to change that. Real difference between the two halves of the pitch right now, and that's a chance gone begging for Lugano. The cross completely overhit. The sun just starting to dip down behind the hills on the far side. It's a very shady left side of the pitch for Sturm, and a very sunny, blinding right-hand side. Shop brought that forward with perhaps a little bit too much enthusiasm and nearly lost the ball. Lugano do win it back closer to the halfway line. They'll try and carry it forward to the edge of the area where the shot comes in. Kudyakov equal to it. A ripple of applause as the goalkeeper tips that one past the post. He'll get a high five from Max Johnston as well for his troubles. Corner kick for Lugano. They're looking for the leveller that they probably feel that they deserve after a decent display in this second half. Cross whipped in towards the back. Sturm will get it away. And Lord of FIFA can turn and bring it away. Tried to thread it all the way through for Amadi Camara. It didn't work out. Again, the cross just far too far away from everybody from Lugano. They had space and time. They did not deliver. Well, we've not seen a lot of Belmin Beganovic in the Sturm jersey today. A man who was signed from SV Ried as a youngster. 20-year-old left-sided forward. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists in the second division this season, Beganovic. Scored for the senior team and got an assist as well in the first round of the cup match against Rötis. Sturm won by a massive margin. Wasn't really able to sink his teeth into this game so far though, Belmin Beganovic. Johnston now passes it inside. Afrifa. Neat footwork, finds Kitaishvili. Now Sturm with Wüttrich, the man who scored the goal that gave Sturm ultimately the Bundesliga title last season. The goal that broke the deadlock against Austria Klagenfurt. A game that will live forever in the memories, etched in the memories of all Sturm fans. Flag stays down. Lugano over on the right-hand side. They've got runners in the middle. If they can get it into somebody, maybe they'll go themselves. Will there be a direct shot? The will is snatched with the left foot and well wide in the end. Ultimately, not a great effort. Can't really fault the work rate of Mattia Bottani in the attacking midfield for Lugano, but that time he could have done better and maybe should have done better. Sturm forcing Lugano back here, and it might be enough now if the Schwarz-Weißen can win the ball and hold on to it. Just about 90 seconds remaining in the 90 minutes. And much like in the first half, we're not expecting injury time to be played. Botani moves it forward. Heavy challenge to win the ball back, but Sturm pick up the loose ball and they can move over the halfway line. The pass straight through to the goalkeeper. Just what Lugano wanted, really. They've got a chance to get the ball back and maybe just launch one last attack. Lugano 1, Sturm 2 as we enter the last minute of the 90. Lugano on the attack for much of this second half. Sturm's best spell in the match was at the end of the first half. Leon Girgic put Sturm Graz 1 up after 33 minutes, and between that goal going in and the end of the first half, Sturm had a number of good moves forward and looked pretty dominant in the match, but in the second half it's been a bit of a different story. Now maybe something. Meganovic trying everything to get on the end of that. 15 seconds before the 90 is up. The referee, you'd imagine, might just let the attack come to its conclusion. Here is the goal scorer for Lugano. Any chance of another one before the end of this match? Mattia Crocitotti and his team probably feel that they deserve one. But again, the cross off target. It'll drift away, and that should bring the game to an end in Marbella. Daniil Kudyakov, the 20-year-old Russian goalkeeper. He has the ball in his hands. The clock is over the 90 minutes. Gregory Vutrich can get things started. Jan Goran Stankovic in the box. Vutrich just looking to waste a few seconds before getting it downfield and expecting the referee's whistle to follow, which it doesn't for now. Maybe 1 minute added. Maybe one last lifeline for Lugano. There goes the final whistle from Campo La Quinta in Marbella. Sturm have come through to beat Lugano by 2-1. The result, well, it's academical really. It doesn't matter too much. But Sturm, nonetheless, will be pleased to hold out for the win against the team top of the Super League in Switzerland. Lugano huffed and puffed for the whole of that second half. They really tried to get the second goal past Daniil Kudyakov. They hit the bar at one point. They came so close to levelling, but ultimately too many crosses into the box were wasted by Lugano. Sturm didn't really get onto the front foot too much in the second half. There wasn't a whole lot of attacking football to be played, but they'd done the job in the first half with Leon Grigic's brilliant finish to put Sturm 1-0 up, and then a bizarre own goal at the beginning of the second half doubled the advantage for Sturm. They just forced Lugano back to the right-back position, and the ball was slotted back towards the goalkeeper, and it wrong-footed the man in pink, and in it went for 2-0 Sturm. And after that, it was pretty much all Lugano, but Sturm will have learned some valuable lessons. Jürgen Säumel will have plenty to take away with him from this game, and most importantly, I hope that you, wherever you're watching, have enjoyed this friendly match from La Quinta in Marbella. Sturm winning by 2-1 against Lugano. The next game coming up on the weekend, that's also available on SKSturm.TV, up against Grasshopper Club of Zurich, another Swiss team standing in the way in Sturm Graz's winter-friendly lineup. And then, of course, after the friendly games are over, after the fun and the games of the training camp, it's back to competitive action. There's Champions League ties away against Atalanta, at home against RB Leipzig. If you go to shop.SKSturm.at, you can get your tickets for the home clash in Klagenfurt for the Champions League on the 29th of January. And then The League and Cup double coming up against Austria Vienna. Tickets still available just about for the Cup clash on the 1st of February against Austria Vienna too. 13,000 tickets sold. The last few still remaining. If you want to get into the Merkur Arena for the game in the Cup quarter-final against Austria Vienna, that is an exciting start to the domestic football calendar for 2025. And then Sturm will meet Austria Vienna once again in a clash of the top two in the Austrian Bundesliga. So much to look forward to for Sturm Graz in 2025. But looking back on this game against Lugano, we hope you've enjoyed this one. Grigic with the goal for Sturm in the first half. A wonderful performance from the young number 38. He slotted Sturm ahead. An own goal put them 2 up. Lugano fought back, but they couldn't find the leveller. They were not getting past the 20-year-old goalkeeper Daniel Kudiakov a second time. And so it's finished. FC Lugano 1, Sturm Graz 2. Thanks for joining us.
Sì, preparo. Alza, di là, sotto.